Welcome back. Florida Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar is one of several Republicans defending the U.S. military's intervention in Venezuela. She said on Face the Nation yesterday she feels confident the country will be able to reorganize, but specifically under opposition leader Maria Corina Machado.
I love what Secretary Rubio is expressing and the plan that we have as the country of stabilize, recover, and transition. I think that if you think about it, the Trump administration is creating a blueprint, a new groundbreaking new model for foreign policy vis-a-vis the Western Hemisphere.
Let's bring in our political panel to discuss this and more, what we call our Strat Chat. You're looking at CBS News political contributor and Democratic strategist Chuck Rocha on the left in our Washington bureau, and he is joined by Republican strategist Kevin Sheridan, who is also the former spokesman for the Republican National Committee. A warm Monday. Welcome to you both. Chuck, I'll start with you. We heard there Representative Salazar saying this is a blueprint the Trump administration is creating, but Democrats are against the administration's recent foreign policy moves, not just in Venezuela, but also in Greenland. Is that midterm ammunition for the opposition party?
I think so. And let me be clear that anytime you can get rid of a dictator or bad people anywhere in the country, that's not a bad thing. People should have the right to stand up and hear their voice be heard. But as it pertains to the midterm elections, I do polling and focus group every day, and isn't nobody telling me the first or second or even the 15th thing that they care about is who's running in Venezuela or Cuba. It's the price of ground beef, coffee, and where their grocery bills are right now.
And Kevin, what do you make of that? We were also looking at CBS News polling showing a majority of respondents do not support, they disapprove of removing Maduro from power. But you also have President Trump saying Cuba will no longer get oil or money. He's urging them to make a deal with the U.S. How does this resonate with the MAGA base, which also says its biggest issue is inflation and the cost of living?
Well, Chuck's right. It's nobody's top issue. Foreign policy almost never is. But I think most House members and Senate members, candidates, are probably in the let's wait and see. We trust the president's hand on this. We've seen it in the past with the strikes against Soleimani and the bombing of Iran's nuclear capabilities. So he's got another strategic victory in capturing Maduro. Let's let him do his thing. But you can't take the economy out of the picture here. We've got to keep a focus on that. He's making big bets, though, with foreign policy and reordering the entire globe and specifically the Western Hemisphere. These all have to work or it's going to be catastrophic for Republicans in the midterms, which are already going to be difficult, obviously. But he's making big bets. We'll see how they play out.
Well, on the topic of the economy, we know that the administration wants interest rates to be lowered, which is only good news depending on where you are in the economy. But Jerome Powell is now accusing the administration of investigating him for strictly political purposes. He had a video message ready to go yesterday. Let's listen to some of that.
This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation.
And if we look back, the Justice Department's attempt to prosecute Letitia James and James Comey, that failed. So, Kevin, what happens if this investigation also fizzles?
As it could. We've seen judges throw out cases regularly under Trump. But look, the malfeasance, whether it's illegal or not, something happened there. $2.5 billion for an office building is absurd. It cost $1.7 adjusted billion to build AT&T Stadium. This is outrageous. I mean, how could you spend $2.5 billion on any office building? So he's not wrong on that. We'll see if they've got him on any legal grounds. But yeah, obviously this is just. This is another one. We'll see what the judges do. And
we see footage from last July when the president was with Jerome Powell at the staged moment where the discomfort between them was evident. Chuck, what do you make of this?
Well, I think that the American people don't really know what the Fed does or where it's at. So I think that's the first thing. But first, let me say this as well. Whether it was Jerome Powell, whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's Congressman B, Senator X, if anybody breaks the law, they should be held accountable. And I don't care what party you belong to. But if you go out and talk to the American people, as we head into the midterms, they don't know Jerome Powell. They don't know what he does. And if they're team red, they think it's great. If they're team blue, they think it's awful. But the folks in the middle are just trying to figure out how to make these ends meet in the middle to where their life is more affordable. And I think that's what the midterms will be around, not about Jerome Powell.
All right, Chuck Rocha, Kevin Sheridan, we appreciate you waking up this Monday morning and joining us and providing some of your insight. We appreciate it.